Foreign Affairs. I wish to begin with the Kashmir Solidarity Day to be observed tomorrow. Every year, 5th February is observed to express solidarity with Kashmiri people in their struggle for the right to self-determination. The occasion is also used to condemn India for its egregious human rights violations in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. On the occasion, 1 minute silence will be observed throughout the country and special prayers will be offered for the Kashmiri Shoda who have laid down their lives struggling against the illegal Indian occupation and worst human rights violations. Solidarity walks will be held in Islamabad, all provincial capitals, and Azad Jammu and Kashmir to express unity with the Kashmiri brothers and sisters. Pakistan missions around the world will also organize seminars and engage with the media, think tanks, parliamentarians, and policy influencers to highlight the egregious human rights violations in IIOJK. Now, coming to the situation in IIOJK, during the last week, in brazen manifestation of state terrorism, the Indian occupation forces martyred 3 more Kashmiris in fake encounters and staged cordon and search operations in Taral and Pulwama areas. During the same period, over half a dozen Kashmiri youth were arbitrarily arrested in South Kashmir districts. The unabated cold-blooded murders and brutalization of innocent Kashmiris are a clear manifestation of state terrorism to which unarmed Kashmiris have been subjected to for over 7 decades. The prominent Kashmiri leadership continues to remain incarcerated in Indian jails under inhuman conditions on false and fabricated charges. Meanwhile, the RSS BJP regime continues its despicable efforts to change the demographic structure of IIOJK in clear violation of the UN Security Council resolutions and international law, including the 4th Geneva Convention. According to the Indian Ministry of Home Affairs, 3.38 million fake domicile certificates have already been issued till 25th of January 2021. The international community must take immediate cognizance of this dire situation in IIOJK and take practical steps to stop India from such illegal and inhuman actions. The world community must also work for expeditious resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions and the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi received a batch of 500,000 doses of Chinese Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine this week. The Foreign Minister thanked the leadership and the people of China for sending the gift of COVID vaccine to Pakistan to help fight the pandemic. The vaccine is being used to inoculate the frontline health workers as part of government's effort to save precious lives. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and the US Secretary of State Anthony J. Blinken had a telephone conversation. The Foreign Minister congratulated Secretary Blinken on assuming his office. He underscored Pakistan's commitment to forge a comprehensive partnership with the United States based on convergence of interests on a whole range of issues. Highlighting the transformation in Pakistan, the Foreign Minister stressed that the government of Prime Minister Imran Khan had a new vision that placed premium on forging economic partnership, building a peaceful neighborhood, and enhancing regional connectivity. Foreign Minister Qureshi told Secretary Blinken that peace in Afghanistan through a negotiated political settlement was one of the fundamental convergences between Pakistan and the United States. Secretary Blinken recalled US-Pakistan cooperation over the years and noted that the two countries had a range of areas to engage on. He acknowledged the sacrifices of the people of Pakistan in the fight against terrorism. In the context of regional developments in the Daniel Pearl case, the Foreign Minister underscored that it was important and in the mutual interest that justice is served through legal means. The Foreign Minister highlighted the steps being taken in this regard. Foreign Minister Qureshi and Secretary Blinken agreed to remain engaged and work together on advancing the two countries' bilateral agenda and promoting common interests in the region and beyond. Kuwait's Assistant Foreign Minister of Asian Affairs, Ambassador Ali Suleiman Al Saeed, paid a 4-day official visit to Pakistan. The Assistant Foreign Minister held the third round of bilateral political consultations between Pakistan and Kuwait. The consultations centered on reviewing the entire spectrum of bilateral relations, collaboration on issues of mutual interest at regional and international forums, and possibilities for enhanced cooperation in other fields. Pakistan and Kuwait have a long-standing fraternal relationship marked by warmth between the leadership and abiding ties between the two peoples. Foreign Secretary Suhail Mahmood and Principal Secretary of Kenyan Foreign Ministry, Ambassador Kamu, held the third round of bilateral political consultations virtually between Pakistan and Kenya. The consultations covered the entire spectrum of bilateral relations, mutual cooperation in the multilateral fora, and issues of peace and security in respective regions. Highlighting the Prime Minister's vision to forge multifaceted cooperation with the African continent as part of the Engage Africa initiative, the Foreign Secretary underscored the importance of strengthening cooperation in the fields of trade, investment, air connectivity and port linkages, security and defense, and education and training. The first round of bilateral dialogue on climate change and science was held between Pakistan and the Republic of Korea in a virtual mode. The two sides exchanged views on issues of mutual interest and explored avenues for enhancing bilateral cooperation and engagement in the fields of climate change and science diplomacy. The discussions covered implementation of the Paris Agreement, the forthcoming conference of parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and avenues for possible collaboration in science, technology, and innovation. The 12th session of the Joint Economic Commission between Pakistan and Sri Lanka was held in virtual mode on 3rd of February 2021. The two sides discussed broad range of issues related to economic, trade, and investment cooperation between the two countries. Opportunities for cooperation in the area of IT were particularly discussed. Now let me also share with you that a petition has been filed in the Supreme Court of Pakistan regarding the Jodhpur incident where 11 Pakistani Hindus, including 5 children and 4 women, died in India under mysterious circumstances last year. The family of the deceased and the patron-in-chief of the Pakistan Hindu Council have pleaded that the ashes of the deceased have not been provided to the victim's family for performing the religious rites, shared their concerns hinting at the involvement of Indian Agency Research and Analysis Wing in the incident, and requested to ensure independent and transparent investigation into the entire process. India continues to remain evasive on this horrific incident. India has also not explained as to why the bodies of the deceased were hastily cremated without informing the High Commission for Pakistan in London, and why a post-mortem in the presence of Pakistan High Commission's doctor was not permitted despite repeated requests by the High Commission. India has also not shared the pictures of the crime scene, particularly before the removal of the dead bodies, the statements of the witnesses, in particular the neighbors, forensic report, and the detailed investigation report. Since the deceased were Pakistan nationals, the government of India is obligated to fully cooperate with the government of Pakistan, carry out a comprehensive and transparent investigation, and share the findings with Pakistan. With this, I thank you very much, and I'm happy to take